So, we want to talk about being number one on your team. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, welcome back to Sailing Stone Performance Podcast. I'm your host, Derek Hutchins, and today we're going to be talking about becoming number one on your team. If you're not number one and you really want to get there, what are the steps that you got to take, right? So, first, you got to think about being the hardest working, right? The hardest working on the team. We've heard this a lot. If you're in athletics, if you're a top performer, if you're in any field trying to get better, you definitely heard you need to show up first. You need to be the last one to leave, right? These types of principles are not far off, right? These are common. We've heard these all the time. But why aren't we implementing those into our life? What does that mean to actually do that, right? And that means sacrificing things sometimes. It means getting rid of the distractions and focusing solely on the sport, what you're trying to do to achieve and get better. And take a look at the people who are at the top. Who's number one on your team right now? What are they doing? Why are they number one, right? And what are they doing that you're not doing? We need to study them and take a look at the things that they're doing that we could then implement into our structure, into our schedule. That's how you become better, right? See the people who are number one and start doing what they're doing. How can you fit what they're doing into your life? And then also take it another step further and what can you do better than them, right? We're all competitors. So we want to get that competitive spirit and we want to think about how we can be better, not just ourselves individually, but how can we be better than the others on our team? And we have to have this think gold mentality, right? So think gold mentality means that our drive to be number one has to be greater than our excuses, right? They have to be greater than the distractions because there's a lot of people that are gonna not want you to be number one, right? There's a lot of people that are in your corner rooting, but when it comes down to it, they don't want you to be number one because they want to see you for who they think that you are, right? You have to change who you want to be for yourself. Let everybody else decide what they're going to decide, right? They're going to think whatever they want to think, and that's none of our business. Our business is becoming number one. That's our main goal. That's our focus. That also means combining our sleep and our nutrition with the intensity. You know, if our training is really stepping up, which it should be, if you want to be number one, your intensity needs to get boosted. But that means your sleep needs to be better, it means your nutrition needs to be better, your water intake needs to be better. All these things are going to be lining up in order for us to be number one, right? Think gold, right? It's that simple, but we need to implement it. And that means anytime we're noticing where we can step up, we need to start stepping up, right? Start becoming self-aware enough that you're seeing the self-sabotaging behaviors, the things that are getting you distracted, right? The people that are distracting you. You have to take those distractions out. Your distractions have to be less valuable than the need for you to be number one, okay? And ultimately, you need to start taking responsibility for that. Take responsibility for the people that you have in your life. Take responsibility for the distractions you allow in your life. Take responsibility for the actions of the other members of the team. If you want to be number one on the team, that means being a leader. That means being the captain. That means you need to start taking responsibility for everybody else. You want your team to be better. You want to be better. You got to start pushing them to be better too, right? That becomes pushing them with your actions. You're going to step up. Now you're challenging who's number one, right? They're going to come at you. You got to be ready. So then we can look into why you're not number one right now. If you know these things already, why are you not number one? Why are you not stepping up for the call, right? What are the self-sabotaging behaviors that you're doing to stop yourself from being number one? Why is your self-worth limiting you from being number one, right? These are things you got to dig into and understand. What are those experiences? What happened to create this, why you're not good enough? That's your job to look at It's pretty self-explanatory, right? The more that you can look at these things and you can start pinpointing, right, all of the different areas that you can be better, and then taking that to the next level, then being better. That's all it is, right? All right, guys, easy. That's pretty quick and simple today. Please reach out, let anybody know. I want to see what things you guys are struggling with. What are these self-sabotaging behaviors? Comment them, post them in the comments, send me messages. I'm excited to bring you guys more content. I'm excited to dig into more of the mental side and the self-sabotage. And we'll have some more videos coming out, some more podcasting. Another episode, I think the next episode should be, how do I stay number one, right? So we're going to get you to number one now. How do I stay number one? If you're number one already, how do you continue to be number one, right? So thank you guys for listening. I will see you guys soon, and fucking rock out, guys.